Today we will be reviewing some 7th grade geometry, types of angle pairs. The first pair of angles are complementary angles. Complementary means adds up to 90 degrees. So if you look at WXZ, it forms a 90-degree angle. However, this big angle is made up of two smaller angles, WXY, which is 65 degrees, and YXZ, which is 25 degrees. Since these two angles, 65 plus 25, adds up to 90 degrees, we call them complementary. Now, let's look at an example. These two angles are complementary. They form a 90-degree angle. So, we're going to write an equation that says the two put together, x plus 30 degrees, is 90 degrees. Now that we have our equation, we can solve for x. This is a one-step equation, so it should be pretty simple. Subtract 30 from both sides, and we are left with x equals 60 degrees. The second type of angle pairs is supplementary angles. Supplementary angles form a straight line, or 180 degrees. Here, HIK is a straight line formed by two smaller angles, HIJ, which is 120 degrees, and JIK, which is 60 degrees. Since 120 plus 60 is 180, we call these two angles supplementary. Now, let's consider an example. These two angles here, x and 135, are supplementary. They form a 180-degree straight angle. So, we need to write the equation that tells us that. X plus 135 degrees equals 180 degrees. Once again, we have a one-step equation. So we're going to subtract 135 from both sides, and we are left with x equals 65 degrees. So x is a 65-degree angle. Next, we will consider adjacent angles. Adjacent angles are angles that share a side. So, if you look here, you'll see that ACB and ACD share the side AC. Therefore, we say that ACB and ACD are adjacent. Notice how they are side by side. They're right next to each other. They also share a common vertex, which is C, and ray, which is AC. Finally, we will look at vertical angles. Notice how L, M, N, and O, M, P are two angles that are formed by the same pair of intersecting lines. They are opposite each other, and they have the same angle measure. These are all characteristics of pairs of vertical angles. The other pair of vertical angles in this drawing is LMO and MP. Notice how, once again, these vertical angles are formed by two intersecting lines. They also are congruent, meaning they have the same angle measure. Now, let's look at an example. These two angles are vertical. We need to find the measurement of angle X and the measure of angle Y. So first, we know that X is vertical or opposite of 115 degrees, which means these two must be congruent. They must have the same angle measure. We're going to repeat this for y. So y equals 65 degrees. You can check yourself because x and 65 degrees form a straight line. That means that x plus 65 must give you 180, and 115 plus 65 does indeed give you 180. If you'd like, you could repeat the checking process for y plus 115.